Hey there, nerds. Jimmy Palmquist here, and I have a review of Silicon Valley Season 2. Now, I remember a little history lesson a long time ago watching the premiere of Beavis and Butthead and the little segments that were aired on MTV, and then when it got its own show, and then when it moved on and Daria came about, and then from there we had King of the Hill, and then Office Space from Mike Judge. And when you first saw Beavis and Butthead, you're like, how is this dude doing this? Okay, flash in the pan. And then to see, so many years later, over 20 years later, we have Mike Judge making amazing TV. I'm blown away because Silicon Valley is some of the best writing I've seen on TV. I love this show. I look forward to it. And to be honest, it's the only redeeming thing about Sunday nights this past year because Game of Thrones didn't cut it. But I knew I could look forward to Silicon Valley afterwards. So, Season 2, the gang's back, Richard and Pied Piper moving forward. Or are they? Because every single time we get a whoop, we get a woo. Something as simple as, hey, we won, we figured out how to do in to out, data processing, whatever, and we're just going to get investors lined up. And they start taking meetings. And it's great to see Ehrlich in these meetings. And it's even better to see Richard try to beat Ehrlich in these meetings. Phenomenal. I loved it. Hilarious. And then to see sort of Monica's reaction to the events and her sort of trying to break down because she has sort of a friendship with the group and a development with the group, but she's still part of the original sort of investment team that brought Pied Piper to the playground, so to speak. So it's just this funny relationship. Ehrlich, played by T.J. Miller, is just fantastic. One of the great, I wouldn't say additions because he was obviously there last year, but he gets more time on camera is Jared. Jared is fantastic. He brings about this HR management style to a startup, and it's hilarious. And he brings the famous marketing SWAT, which I think is hilarious. And I had seen this before when I was going through school, and it cracked me up then. And then to see people who I guess weren't aware of it say, oh my God, they use SWAT in a meeting. That's so funny. They took it from Silicon Valley. No, folks, this is old stuff. But to see them bring it into a TV show and analyze everything, threats and what I can't remember what it stands for, but it's hilarious to me. And that's what's great about the show. These are real things. Clearly, Mike Judge is pulling from real experience, and that's what we're seeing. We are introduced to the 3 Comma Club, which is unbelievably hilarious and starts setting up a new character as well as the investment team, the new investor, which is just hilarious. Richard is Richard, and he's uncomfortable in his own skin, and there's a great episode where he's wetting the bed, sort of, but he's not, and Jared's asking, well, maybe you sweat through your urethra. And it's just this ridiculous, like, what? Dinesh and Dinesh and Guilfoyle are hilarious. They're back and forth and wanting to one-up each other when if there was nothing going on, they would just be slackers. But because there's something going on and one wants to outdo the other in one-upmanship, hilarious. The way the team goes about growing the company is like 100% wrong, but they're kind of getting there. They're sort of proving they can do it. And this is how I imagine, well, not imagine because I work in this industry, you see engineers and tech guys, they have ideas, but they don't necessarily know how to present these ideas in a sustainable way, marketing-wise. And that's what we're seeing. And it is hilarious. And the final episode, we see this because the lawsuit from Hulu finally is resolved. I'm not going to give it away. And we have these things going on. And it just ends, the season in a way ends with heartbreak. And you're disappointed. And you really do have these highs and lows. And Mike Judge creates the peaks and the valleys. And it's perfect. And I cannot wait to see what happens next season. These characters are so rich and amazing, and they really didn't have to bring in too many new long-term characters to make the storyline go. They kept with what they have and moved that forward, and I really enjoyed that. I highly recommend you check out Silicon Valley Season 2. If you're not watching this, binge it all the way through. It's available now on digital download. Check it out. I am giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.